wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die.
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back to throw. McGee. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Clay, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Texans' 48-yard line.
This one out quickly to Westbrook. And he coughed it up, and the Texans scoop it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go. Let's record. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And this is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so because they need...
Looking for strong, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know, some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's...
He's got daylight, the 30. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. Give him 55 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. He pitches it, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Brings up second and 11 at the 12-yard line.
On the ready. Mike part 2. Mike part 2. I know he ain't got it.
Now a first carry for their fullback. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Hey, check 24. Jim. Shut up.
And they'll go on the ground. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
That's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out. Before he knew it, he had hit the sideline. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson rolling to his left. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
On first down, it's Watson. And that's complete. It's Sims. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check.
Here's Watson. Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. This is it. I get it. Hey, 55. 53 is the mark. 53. Check 53.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Out of the gun, Watson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go. This is it. 19. Check. 55.
On first down, Strong. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go. 53.
After the run, Watson going to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He gets it to Sims, complete. 22 yards there, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 39, Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw on second down, McGee. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Off the play fake, McGee. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness? The first to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road, How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Mike, set, Mike, alert! Quarterback D-line, get that quarterback D-line. Get that quarterback. Line him up.
A shotgun snap for Watson. The throw taken in by Sims. That'll be a gain of 16, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
We're set. 19. Set 53. Time to go. Night. Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Target. Line him up.
Watson on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Shoot! Hey, 24. Mike, 53. That's it. Mike. Hey.
Back to throw, Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
To throw again. McGee. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the slack. Orbit. And Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Too little, cut. Hey, no, look up. Hey, we got
Looking to throw. McGee. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one.
check safety. Check. Fresno. Kill. Turn up. Kill, turn up. Switch.
Now they try the right side here. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Check me out. No. Check me out.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McGee. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check 52's the mark.
From the gun, McGee. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
QB's traps. That's 55. 56 the mic. 56 is the mic. I'm coming after you.
Now this time he'll look to throw. With a catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
1st down, Houston.
What's that? 18. 56. 59. Mark 56.
They'll run on 1st down. Strong. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The 44-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Go.
Watson steps away. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 30.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Watson now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check 3, check 3.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 21-yard line.
Here I come. Check 9, check 9.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go, here we go. Mike, 53, Mike. Come for you. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike.
From the gun, here's Watson. Gets it to Strong. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike, 53. Hey, tight. Check. 53, Mike. Check. 53.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now they try the right side here. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Back now in Jacksonville. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4.
Check. Deuce. Kill. Back.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now Watson, operating from the gun, rolling to his right. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
3rd down and 11.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, watch it, watch it. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Trying to get it to Clay that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
Your trip is here.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. He gives it up. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line and give their defense a really nice opportunity.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. From the end zone, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Houston. And he's able to get it out of there. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Jaguars, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
what you need, tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. Someone tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get the off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it all behind when you ever overstated. Your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You want to Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'm a sick in the head. Come on. Come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Feel the risk, I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get. Too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bad. You ain't get. Too bad. My bad.